My name is Jessica Smith. I'm currently the director of a nursing home. The reason I took a job in elder care was to help my mother, who raised me by herself, as soon as I possibly could. My father left home when I was in the first grade. I don't know why. We were very poor, and I decided in the winter of my second year of high school that I would work after graduating the school.
I'm thinking of working more, so don't hesitate to apply for college, okay?
No, I don't particularly want to go to college, so I'll work. I want to make things easier for you.
Jessica, my dear, thank you.
My mother said, crying. I thought about applying for a scholarship. But I didn't feel that strongly about wanting to attend college. Above all, I wanted to help my mother. That was my sole focus.
I'm moving to a mansion in Beverly Hills soon.
One day, in the school hallway, I was talked by Kevin. He was in the same school of mine. His father was a CEO of a major construction company, a well-known millionaire around here.
Compared to that, your house is a shack.
I know. Let me know when your mansion is finished, and show me around, okay?
I was of course annoyed by his attitude of looking down on others because of his family background, but it was just a kid's insult. I tried to brush off whatever was said to me. Whether the mansion was completed or not, Kevin stopped showing up after a while. After graduating high school, I wanted to start working right away. However, the world wasn't that simple. It was hard to find a company willing to hire someone with just a high school education. After applying to many places, I finally got a job as a nursing assistant at a senior care facility. I struggled every day with the unfamiliar work. The motivation for my hard work came from the encouragement of my experienced colleagues and the people we cared for.
You're young but serious, and you're doing a great job.
Being told that, I could always keep a smile on my face. Moreover, I was able to approach my job with sincerity. Little by little, our lives stabilized, and both my mother and I were able to have some peace of mind. Finding fulfillment in my work, I obtained my caregiver's license and became capable of doing more specialized tasks. At the same time, I started to pay attention to the harsh realities of the field. I wanted to study more and gain experience to eventually run a comfortable facility. That became my goal.
Jessica, I'm so grateful for the careful assistance you always provide.
Wow, Catherine, thank you very much. I'm always encouraged by your smile.
Oh dear, what a sweet thing to say.
Catherine is a 75-year-old lady who has been using our facility for 5 years. She has difficulty walking and uses a wheelchair. She's very smart and elegant, and talking to her, I often find myself encouraged. I really liked her.
Everyone, please gather around.
One morning, the director called out. A new nursing home assistant, standing next to the director, had come to replace one who had left due to family reasons.
Hi everyone, my name is Kevin Wilson. I'm from Stanford University. Nice to meet you all.
He greeted us proudly with a smug smile. To mention his prestigious school, the staff buzzed with whispers at the name drop.
What an elite, and he looks still young.
His arrogant expression and demeanor gave me an uneasy feeling. Worst of all, my intuition proved right.
You don't know this. Alright, you're just a high school grad, huh?
Kevin flaunted his knowledge at every opportunity, belittling me for my education. Despite 11 years in caregiving, there was always more to learn. Each time, I tell myself I needed to try harder, but his blatantly condescending attitude was hard to accept.
So frustrating. But I have to keep my cool. Showing negative emotions in front of the residents can cause them to panic.
It was a struggle to bite my tongue and endure. One day, while I was working alone in the office, Kevin came in.
So Jessica, you want to run a facility in the future?
Yes, that's right.
He snorted and shrugged his shoulders.
Are you joking? A high school grad couldn't possibly do that. Don't you get it?
Rage shook me. But I managed to hold it in.
You really should know your place better, okay?
That was the last straw.
What's wrong with having dreams?
Huh?
Having dreams doesn't depend on whether being a high school or college grad, does it?
He was taken aback, silent. He hadn't expected a rebuttal.
Excuse me.
I left the office quickly, feeling awkward. For days, I was down, because I thought that what he'd said was not necessarily wrong. Yet, being mocked for my dreams left a lasting bitterness. Kevin didn't speak to me after that. I tried to keep a bright demeanor in front of the residents. But Catherine seemed to notice something was off.
Jessica, you've been looking down lately. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine.
Don't push yourself. I can tell.
She said with a kind smile. Then she continued.
You're upset about Kevin, right? It's your right to have dreams. You've done nothing wrong.
Catherine, did you hear that conversation?
I was on my way back to my room but heard your voice and couldn't help but listen. I didn't mean any harm. Sorry.
Doesn't matter. I'm sorry for making you uncomfortable.
No worries. Everyone gets angry sometimes. I know you're always holding back, especially since some residents can be quite harsh. You've been doing a great job.
She smiled warmly and added.
Kevin is efficient and polite but always brags about his family and education. It can be endearing, but it's outdated. Sure, some education is necessary, but attending a prestigious school doesn't automatically make you excellent at your job. He'd do well to realize that sooner. So, don't worry and just be yourself.
Her words filled me with gratitude and nearly brought me to tears.
Right, I just need to be myself and do my best.
I murmured in my mind. Thanks to Catherine, I felt rejuvenated. A few days later, as I finished assisting a resident with their bath, walked down the hallway, I felt something was off. A wheelchair was unattended outside the restroom. Thinking someone might need help, I checked. The door to the men's room was slightly ajar.
Hello, is anyone there?
Oh, finally, someone came.
That voice. Michael?
Yes, it's me. Could you come here for a moment?
Michael is a resident who needs assistance due to his physical disabilities. His voice sounded desperate.
Is it okay if I come in?
Yay, it's fine. Just help me, please.
In this facility, we usually ensure assistance is provided by staff of the same gender. However, in emergencies, it's mandatory to help regardless of gender. I went in with the wheelchair and rescued Michael from the restroom.
Are you okay? What happened?
Actually, Kevin came with me, but for some reason, he left and didn't come back.
What?
He said he'd be right back, so I waited, but he never returned. I was too embarrassed to call someone. I'm really grateful you came, Jessica. Thank you so much.
Later, my report made it to the director, and Kevin was severely reprimanded. He had forgotten about Michael because he realized he hadn't submitted a report that was due that day.
Residents should always come first. Let me tell you, your education doesn't matter here. You're underestimating the field. Look at Jessica. You should learn what's really important from her. Use not just your head, but your heart too.
Since then, Kevin seemed visibly downcast. It was the first time I saw him like that. Everyone, including the staff and the residents, was worried about him. Seeing him like that reminded me of myself not long ago, and I felt sorry for him.
How are you doing, Kevin?
Oh, thanks.
He awkwardly accepted the cup of coffee I offered.
I've always wanted to ask, why did you decide to work in caregiving?
After a startled look, he pondered for a moment before slowly beginning to speak.
My grandma was wheelchair bound. Sometimes she took me out for walks. Although a helper was also there, I was the one pushing the wheelchair. Grandma always praised me, saying what a good boy I was. It felt great to be praised because I was pretty arrogant and not well liked. After she passed away when I was in middle school, I started thinking about a career in caregiving. My dad, being a CEO, wanted me to follow in his footsteps and strongly opposed my decision, but I insisted so that I pursue my dream.
I see. You were close to your grandma.
I was happy to see this new side of him.
Why are you laughing? Are you making fun of me?
No, not at all. I was just thinking you're actually a nice guy.
He blushed and fell silent. Seemingly he lost in thought. After a while, he finally spoke up.
The director was right. Education doesn't count for much here. What matters most is how much we care for the residents. I realized that long ago by watching you, but I pretended not to.
Kevin.
Suddenly, a memory flashed through my mind.
That's right. I used to live in Hacienda Heights, and there was this wealthy family nearby. Their son was so arrogant, always bragging about moving to a mansion in Beverly Hills. He was known as the arrogant kid in the neighborhood. Kevin, you remind me of him.
Wait,
His eyes widened at my words.
how old were you then?
Well, I was 16 at the time. That boy was about 11, I guess.
That might have been me.
His sudden revelation took me by surprise.
What? Are you serious?
Saying that, I tried to recall more information about him. When I was trying to remember but couldn't, he said,
They would know my father runs the famous construction company.
"Now, I totally remember. He is the Kevin who I know."
No way. Those are the same person.
I couldn't hide my astonished reaction at the unexpected turn of events.
I remember now. After boasting about the mansion, that a girl brushed me off lightly.
It's strange how memories come flooding back with just a few words.
It wasn't just the boasting. You mocked me, saying, compared to that, your house is a shack.
I said a bit sharply, and he looked uncomfortable. After a moment of thought, he looked at my face.
Jessica, I'm really sorry for everything. I had no idea I've been rude to you since then.
I never expected you to apologize like this.
I laughed as I said that. He did too.
Thanks to you, I feel a lot better. Thank you. I'm going to support your dream.
He said with a smile. It was the first time I saw him smile so genuinely. Later, Kevin apologized to Michael again. Michael was not bothered at all and cheerfully said,
Don't worry about it. Thank you for always being there.
Kevin said that was when he truly understood the importance of sincerity. That night, when I got home, I told my mother about how my cheeky boss turned out to be Kevin and how we figured out it was him.
Seriously, that Kevin, it's a small world, isn't it? But it's really good that he changed his heart because of you.
She said, genuinely happy.
Oh, Jessica, when did you and Kevin become friends?
Catherine asked in surprise when she saw Kevin and me chatting.
Hi, Catherine, listen. Kevin and I used to be childhood friends.
Hey now, Jessica.
That's amazing. How did that happen?
Kevin was flustered, but I went ahead and told the story.
Well, isn't that lovely? Maybe Kevin's your destiny?
She said cheerfully, making us look at each other in surprise.
You're kidding me, right? Jessica can't be my destiny.
Oh, really? I think you two are quite a match.
What are you saying? Are you serious?
I stammered, and she just smiled kindly at me. Perhaps Catherine was the most relieved to see Kevin and me reconcile. 10 years later, I became the director of the facility. I didn't build my own facility, but it was an honor to be entrusted with the facility where I had worked for many years.
Jessica, you're doing great today, too.
And you're as healthy as ever, Catherine.
Catherine is now 85 years old. Still very energetic and wise, she occasionally encourages me as a life mentor.
Kevin, if you dawdle, Jessica will get married off. Is that okay with you?
What are you talking about?
Kevin, who was pushing Catherine's wheelchair, blushed and exclaimed. He's still working in the same facility as a caregiving professional. Known for his extensive knowledge and thoughtfulness, he's well regarded among the residents and staff. Moreover, he fully supports me as a new director, making him incredibly reliable. Catherine seems to be trying to bring Kevin and me together. But the distance between us doesn't seem to close easily.
Catherine, I'm not getting married.
Oh, why not?
Because I love it here. Of course, that includes you and Kevin.
Wow, did you hear? Isn't that nice, Kevin?
That's not what you meant, right, Jessica?
Who knows?
As I teased, Catherine laughed happily, and Kevin was left speechless.
Really, you two are a match. Make sure to invite me to your wedding.
Catherine's words made us look at each other and laugh.